Happy 4th of July, YouTube Teen Movies here. Now, since I, of course, recently just did my top 10 favorite 1980, 1981, and 82 movies, now I'm going to do my top 10 favorite 1983 movies. Because there's been some really great movies of 1983 and on. So, that being said, here's my list. Alright. Sorry about that. Anyway, coming in at number 10, it's going to be an ensemble film, and that is called The Big Chill, which was directed by Lawrence Kasdan, who of course wrote the Star Wars films, and it's pretty much like a film about friendship and all. And it features a really great cast. Like the cast in this includes the likes of Kevin Costner, Jeff Goldblum. You also have Tom Berenger, Glenn Close, William Hurt is in this. Some really great cast members. And you know, the Big Chill is pretty much about these, close, like this gang of friends. One of which is, like the friends includes a actor played by Joe Beth Williams. You also got a doctor played by Glenn Close, and her husband played by Kevin Kline. And you also got like a Vietnam veteran played by William Hurt in this, and you also got like a journalist played by Tom Berenger, who of course who ends up meeting for like a weekend after the funeral of their friend Alex, who ended up committing suicide. So like the friends ended up spend like the week confronting the person's truth and whatnot, and it's pretty much like it has a really great script. Some, the cast members is all great. I mean, it's pretty much like I said, it's a film about friendship. It's a film about finding yourself. I mean, and Lauren Cass, of course, directed it. Really good film. I mean, if you guys never checked out The Big Chill yet, give it a go. And I remember hearing words about a remake down the line, but it never really happened. But anyway, The Big Chill is a really good one. And of course, they're pretty much stuck in the house because of a snowstorm as well. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, yeah, check out The Big Chill if you guys never seen them. I mean, especially for the cast alone. Like it has probably one of the best casts I've seen on in a film. And Lawrence Kasdan, of course, directed this movie perfectly. So yeah. All right, coming in at number 9 is the film War Games. Now, War Games is about a high school student named David Lightman, played by Matthew Broderick, who ends up hacking into like a military, into pretty much a military supercomputer while searching for new video games. And so, like after starting a game of global thermonuclear war, he ends up leading the supercomputer to activate the nation's nuclear arsenal in response to his simulated threats as during the Soviet Union and all. And so he also ends up getting the help of his girlfriend, played by Ali Sheedy, who must find a way to lift the authorities to stop the onset of World War III. Now, this movie got released in 1983. I tell you one thing, this movie was ahead of its time. I mean, it was because out all the movies of the 80s, I gotta say, the one film that will really benefit from a remake today is War Games. I mean, because of course, the movie got released in 1983, and technology wasn't as advanced as it was today. I mean, yeah, of course, there was computers back then and whatnot, but with stuff that we got today, like with Facebook and since we got like, of course, we got fake news and whatnot. You know, with all that advanced technology we got today, I think a War Games reboot benefits from a remake. Like I'm, if they ever announce a War Games reboot, I'm down to see one. Because I think this movie definitely benefits from a reboot. Anyway, Of course, this movie got released like a year before Matthew Broderick was Ferris Bueller, so this was, I guess you could say this movie was really, like, it was actually Ferris Bueller that put Matthew Broderick on the map. But this was also one of his like first major roles, and it's a really good one. You also have Dabney Coleman was in this, really awesome film. I mean, directed by the great John Badham. Yeah, if you guys never seen War Games, check it out. And like I said, I'll be down for a reboot of this in the near future. Or maybe not a reboot movie, maybe a TV show or whatnot, kind of like in the vein of Cobra Kai. But yeah, War Games is great. All right, coming in at number 8 is going to be A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story is one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. And it was, of course, directed by this director named Bob Clark, who, by the way, before this, directed that teen sex comedy Porky's. So yeah, he had an interesting resume. From directing a teen sex comedy like Porky's to direct a family Christmas classic like Christmas Story. What an interesting resume. Anyway, of course, this is about a young kid named Ralphie, played by Billingsley, who, by the way, was, I can't remember, but I think he was like he actually worked on Iron Man, by the way, which I thought was cool. I mean, which explains the Christmas Story joke in Iron Man 3, by the way. But anyway, and of course, a Christmas Story is where like he wants to get like a Red Ryder air rifle for he wants to get like a Red Ryder air rifle for Christmas, but lots of his parents doesn't really want him to have one, and he also goes like hopes to go to Santa, but Santa doesn't really want him to have one because, like they said, you'll poke your eye out, kid. Anyway, and come on, how awesome was Santa Claus in this? I mean, of course, the scene where with Ralphie with Santa in this is iconic, where Santa Claus ends up pushing him down that slide thing. Of course, you got the classic pole scene where, of course, Ralphie and the other kid ends up getting their tongue stuck on the pole. Yeah, never try that, kids. Like literally, never put your tongue on a pole because that really don't work in real life. But anyway, yeah, Christmas Story is definitely a Christmas classic. I mean, if you guys never had a chance to check out A Christmas Story, it's definitely a Christmas movie that you can watch over and over. It's a really good one, and yeah, definitely check out A Christmas Story if you guys haven't seen that. All right, coming in at number 7 is the film that you're going to need tissues for, and that is, of course, Terms of Endearment. Now, this film stars Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger, and in it, Shirley MacLaine plays a widow named Aurora Greenway, who, of course, has a daughter named Emma, played by Deborah Winger, who they have like a strong bond with. But when Emma ends up marrying a teacher named Flat Harden against her mother's wishes, the marriage ends up growing sour due to the husband's cheating and whatnot. So soon, so pretty much soon after, she also learns that she has terminal cancer, and she needs to be supported by Aurora, and she needs to try make peace with her ex-husband and the children and whatnot. And by the way, Deborah Winger's husband is played by Jeff Daniels, so that's pretty cool. You also had Jack Nicholson in this, Danny DeVito, Albert Brooks. The movie was also directed by James L. Brooks, who of course went on to create The Simpsons. So I think he either created or wrote it. I can't remember, but anyway, Terms of Endearment is a classic. I mean, you're going to need tissues while you're watching this, and yeah, I mean, great performances. Like, I really like the mother and daughter bonding between Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger. Like, their bonding is great in this. Like Jack Nixon was also great. Danny DeVito, I mean, what not to like about him? And yeah, like I say, you're gonna really need some tissues because it's a sad film. All right, coming in at number 6 is going to be a comic classic, trading places. I mean, you got like in this, you pretty much got like an executive named Lewis Whitdorm III, played by Dan Aykroyd, and you also got a down and out hustler named Billy Ray Valentine, played by Eddie Murphy, who are like the subjects of a bet by successful brokers named Mortimer, played by Don Ameche, and as well as a Randolph Duke, played by Ralph Bellamy. And so like one day, they pretty much like Lewis and Billy ends up switching bodies. One like pretty much switching with each other. So pretty much Dan Aykroyd sort of becomes Eddie Murphy, while Eddie Murphy sort of becomes Dan Aykroyd. And of course you got the goddess Jamie Lee Curtis in this. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, she looked good back in the days. I mean, whether it's Trading Places or True Lies, that woman just looked great. But anyway, of course, Trading Places was also directed by John Landis, who I gotta do a top John Landis movies. He's a directing legend. And anyway, Trading Places is a great one. You know, great chemistry by Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Like I'll let you see these two work together again. Like they haven't really done a movie since Trading Places, but and of course they were SNL vets. So yeah, if you guys never seen Trading Places, it's a comedy classic. And well, I gotta rewatch this movie again. It's been a while since I've seen Trading Places. All right, coming in at number 5 is going to be the movie that put Tom Cruise on the map, by the way, and that will be, of course, Risky Business. Now here you've got Tom Cruise, who plays a high school senior named Joe Goodson, who ends up cutting loose with his best friend Miles, and so like pretty much after like an attempt at at securing the service of a prostitute goes terribly wrong. He ends up hiring a gorgeous woman named Elena, played by Rebecca De Mornay, for a night of the light. And so, like, he of course ends up crashing his father's porch, and so like in an effort to like raise money fast, he ends up turning the house into he ends up turning his house into like a brothel. Now, of course, Risky Business has that classic underwear scene with Tom Cruise and that classic rock and roll scene. It, of course, the rock and roll one night song. I mean, I'm not gonna sing it here because I don't want I don't want to get my video flat, like copyright or anything. But if you guys seen Risky Business, you know what song I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, Risky Business is a classic. Like I said, lots of people always say that Top Gun was the movie that really put Tom Cruise on the map. But it's actually Risky Business. Like, he had stuff before, he did do stuff like before Risky Business, but it was really like, but anyway, Risky Business was like Tom Cruise's pretty much breakthrough role, and he was great. And you also have Rebecca De Mornay, who, by the way, is in her 60s, and that woman just doesn't age at all. Like, I've seen recent photos of Rebecca De Mornay. She still looks good for a woman of her age. And, of course, she was great in this. I mean, of course, Tom Cruise is great. If you guys never seen Risky Business by now, it's an 80s classic. It's a really good one. All right, coming in. Sorry about that. Coming in at number 4 is the film The Right Stuff, which is based on the nonfiction novel by Tom Wolfe, and of course chronicles like the first 15 years of America's space program, by of course focusing on the lives of Mercury astronauts, including John Glenn, played by Ed Harris, and Alan Shepard, played by Scott Glenn. And it's a really great one. Like it was directed by Philip Kaufman, and it's also featured the likes of Dennis Quaid, Sam Shepard, Fred Ward, Robert Hershey was in this, Lance Eckers, Henriksen. Really good movie. I mean, it's a great space film. It's of course a film about NASA's like earliest achievements and whatnot, and of course it depicts like their family lives and their personal crisis during the era of great political and technological innovation. And it's a really good one. Like I really liked Ed Harris as John Glenn. I believe he scored an Oscar nomination. How on earth do Ed Harris not have an Oscar win? It's still beyond me. I mean, the guy's been in the business for years, and it is crazy that Ed Harris still don't have an Oscar on the mantle. Not even an honorary Oscar. Like, he needs an Oscar in the near future, like ASAP. He's a legend. And Scott Glenn, I really like Scott Glenn in this. The late great Sam Shepard is great. Of course, Sam Shepard's always great. But anyway, yeah, the right stuff is just amazing. I just love this movie. Of course, the best movie about us about astronauts is definitely Apollo 13. So there's that. Oh no, not Apollo. I think it's Apollo 12. Yeah, Apollo 12. I meant to say. But anyway, coming in at number three is going to be probably my favorite comedy of that year. That's going to National Lampoon's Vacation. Directed by the late great Harold Ramis, starring Chevy Chase as a Clark Griswold. And we also got Beverly D'Angelo in this, Randy Quaid, Anthony Michael Hall, Christine Brinkley, the late great John Candy, Eugene Levy, Brian Doyle Murray. Vacation is it's a comic classic right there. I mean, it's of course a film about a road trip where the Griswold family ends up going on like a quest to a Wally World theme park for a family vacation, and of course things aren't of course things don't go exactly as they planned, and I mean National Lampoon Vacation is the reason why I love road trips. By the way, like every time I go to a road trip, like whether it's Roanoke, Virginia, or Jersey or whatnot, vacation National Lampoon Vacation is the reason for my love of road trips. I just love this movie so much. Chevy Chase is great. The other cast is great. Of course, Chevy Chase is probably one of the best movie dads there is. It's a film about dysfunction. Like, they could be dysfunctional once in a while.
We're gone.
Anyway, yeah, National Lampoon's Vacation is the best. But like I said, this movie is definitely the reason why I love road trips. What's my video blue? Anyway, uh, um, as I was saying, yeah, National Lampoon's Vacation is definitely the best, and of course it was followed up by Christmas Vacation, European Vacation, and Vegas Vacation. Also, they also had the Ed Helms one, which lots of people hate the Ed Helms Vacation. I don't care what anyone says. I really like that vacation movie. Obviously, it wasn't as good as the Chevy Chase one, but I still sort of like the Ed Helms version. So, all right, coming in at number two is going to be The Outsiders. Of course, it's based on a book that I have obviously never read, and of course, it's pretty much like about like sorry about that, guys. Anyway, it's of course about like a teen of a gang in Oklahoma, and one of which you got Grease. You got couple one of them. One of them is a greaser named Pony Boy, played by C. Thomas Howell, and Johnny, played by Ralph Macchio, who ends up getting into a brawl that ends up in death of a social member. And there's also like and of course there's like also like a rival group in this, and the villain in this is a Dallas is a guy named Dallas, played by Matt Dillon, and a few other people in this. You also got you had the late great Patrick Swayze in this. Emilio Estevez was in this film. Diane Lane. Actually, mentioned young Tom Cruise was in this. Tom Cruise again, by the way. Francis Ford Coppola directed this, who of course gave us The Godfather. The Outsiders is a great film. I mean, like I said, I never read the book, so I can't really compare the book to the movie, to be honest with you. But there are actually people who kind of prefer the book to the movie, so I'm guessing the book is a little better. But I still love the movie. I mean, it pretty much gave us breakout performances by Ralph Macchio, Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, and Patrick Swayze. It's a really great movie about teen friendship, and Of course, the movie about friendship, period. Great film. If you guys never seen The Outsiders, give that one a go. Alright, my number one favorite movie of 1983, it's an obvious one, and of course it's a hint. Say Hello to My Little Friend. My number one favorite movie of 1983 is of course going to be Scarface. I mean, come on, how could you not have Scarface as the best movie of that year? I mean, of course Al Pacino's like first breakthrough films was in the 70s, but this was actually the movie that really put Al Pacino on the map. I mean, come on, Al Pacino as Tony Montana,
Yeah.
one of the coolest characters there is. You've got the great Brian De Palma directed this. Michelle Pfeiffer, who, by the way, like Rebecca De Mornay, Michelle Pfeiffer, she's like in her 60s and whatnot. She's in her 60s, and she still looks good. But anyway, yeah, Scarface is a classic. It has the classic gunfire scene. You know, it has great performances by Al Pacino, which I think he won an Oscar for this, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong there, but yeah, really great movie. I mean, great performances all around, great shoot 'em up action scene, a great crime film. Scarface is definitely the best movie that year. But anyway, let me do the quick rundown. Uh, that's pretty much it, by the way. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, The Big Chill. 9, War Games. 8, Christmas Story. 7, Terms of Endearment. 6, Trading Places. 5, Risky Business. 4, The Right Stuff. 3, Vacation. 2, The Outsiders. 1, Scarface. Now, there's those other ones I probably could have added. Look at the honorable mentions. A few other movies of 1983 included Return of the Jedi, which I like Return of the Jedi, but it wasn't like it actually wasn't my favorite movie of that year, really. Either I still loved The Last Jedi, but I sort of like the other top 10 slightly more. But anyway, you also got Twilight Zone, the movie is a good one. Flashdance. You had a couple of Stephen King movies of that year, like you had Cujo, Christine, and The Dead Zone. You also had The Hunger. You had 2 James Bond movies that year, by the way. You had Octopussy and Never Say Never Again. By the way, Octopussy is the actual title, just so y'all know. Anyway, a few other stuff of that year. You also had Mighty Python, The Meaning of Life, Sudden Impact, Mr. Mom, Superman 3, Videodrome, Crawl, Rumble, Fish, All the Right Moves. Speaking of Tom Cruise, Yanta. By the way, the song Build a Snowman song, by the way, from Frozen. That sort of sounds like Papa Can You Hear Me from Yanta. Deadpool true fans probably only Deadpool true fans will definitely get that reference. But anyway, also Easy Money with Ryan Dangerfield's a good one. Definitely not Staying Alive. I mean, it's the John Travolta Saturday Night Fever sequel. Definitely not that. Some pretty good films of 1983. Let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite movies of 1983? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movies signing off.